Let's stay with the budget expectations. The Finance Minister's budget speech scheduled for this afternoon. Our business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, is with the Inkatha Freedom Party in Parliament. And good morning to you once again, Xolani. What does the IFP want to hear from this budget?
Good morning, Oli. Yes, indeed, as your guest said there earlier on, it seems education will be taking a back seat to the demands of the ESCOM and the electricity department. Of course, we are expecting a new minister of electricity to actually be accommodated in this year's budget as announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa in the State of the Nation address. A lot of criticism on that because it's a burgeoning and an increasing portfolio amid calls for the cabinet to be shrunk and made smaller, and this is in an attempt by the state to put a lid on load shedding, which is costing the economy between 1 billion rand and 1.5 billion rand per day, as we are currently on stage 6 load shedding. But you're right, I'm not alone. I am with the Deputy President of the Inkatha Freedom Party, MP Mzamo Buthelezi, and he joins us now. Thank you very much, MP Buthelezi, for your time. The Minister of Electricity has been announced as something that is new, that is going to be something that solves our electricity crisis, someone who's going to babysit ministers who are responsible with ESCOM. What is your take in terms of the expectations from the Minister of Finance today as far as the Minister of Electricity is concerned?
You know, thank you very much. The issue of the Minister of Electricity is a nonsensical decision, and I don't even know how the President came about that. But as you have said, that we expect so much from the Minister today, because the President himself has been telling us to keep hope as if we're in the church. No, we're not there. We want to see a budget which is not drafted on mere hopes and dreams, but a budget that will respond to the real challenge that we face. Among others is the very same issue of electricity supply. The issue of the Minister of Electricity is an unstable decision, as I've said. Also, the declaration of the state of disaster will never help us, because it will only flexion the legislation so that it is to maneuver money. We've seen what has happened during COVID-19. The state of disaster was declared, but what happened with the money? It was embezzled by the same ANC leadership. You saw in KZN with the floods, the state of disaster was declared, but still people who were affected have not received help. So we want the minister actually to address the real challenges that our people are facing, which is electricity, as I've said. We need to hear more about the independent power producers, as they've been saying, because we don't see that actually coming into the system and helping us in great deal. Because also, when you look at the issue of the IPPs, they are costing more than what we pay, in fact, from ESCOM, which is not something that we should be proud of as South Africans, because most of us are not working, we don't have employment. We want the minister also to table a budget that will deal decisively with the issue of crime. People in South Africa are killed in broad light, in public places. No one cares. Crimes have zero fear for the law. So we want to see a budget that will assist in addressing that, because we know that crime does not only kill people, it also repels investment, locally and foreign investment. We also want to see a budget that will actually favor the law enforcement agencies in as far as fighting corruption is concerned. We have been saying as the IFP that no amount of money can be actually poured into state-owned entities and everywhere. If we don't deal decisively with the issue of the leakages within the system, we can't hope to see any change. We are actually facing a risk now of being grey-listed. No matter how much legislation we've got, but if there are no actions to make sure that those that are found to be on the wrong side are actually brought onto books and they are actually sentenced, we will never see any difference in our country. As the IFP, in terms of trying to respond to the issue of unemployment, we say more focus should be given to local economic development, as I've said. We are proposing that a new grant is introduced, which will be called a local economic development grant, that will be ring-fenced to assist small medium businesses at the local level that will assist to support agriculture and cooperatives so that we begin to see more activities at the local level. We also want to see more money going to the infrastructure, but we are paying more attention now in new infrastructure, which is very good. But we are neglecting the existing infrastructure. Some of the damages are caused by flood are as a result of poor and unmaintained infrastructure. So we are saying now, let us put new infrastructure in place and also make sure that we maintain the existing infrastructure.
You spoke about a new grant to support small businesses. Let's talk about the grants that are still there right now in the proposed grant. The 350 Rand grant, should it be made permanent? That's the first question. The second one, the basic income grant, should it be introduced in the 2023 budget, and at what level should it be introduced?
Ideally, we welcome the issue of the extension of the support that is given to people who are unemployed, because we know that the majority of our people are not working. But we are saying, as much as we assist people to get 350 and all these grants, they must be temporary in nature. We must get our people working. South Africans are not lazy, as I've said even before. They want to work. So government must create employment opportunities so that people are able to help themselves. We're saying, yes, give them handouts, but what is very important is to give them hand up so that they're able to help themselves, because this is not sustainable. As a country, we don't have money. We borrow to actually keep ourselves afloat. So if we continuously talk about the issue of grants, yet there is no much that is coming into the system, then we are doomed.
Inkosi Mzamo Buthelezi is the Deputy IFP President. Quite clear in their views that the grants system must be made to ensure that it supports the poorest households, and it should be something that is ring-fenced really to ensure as well that economic development is supported, particularly small businesses. We will